Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. In this video, we are going to learn how to send paid Razorpay invoice details to customers via Gmail. Suppose you are using Razorpay as your payment gateway and now you want that as soon as a new invoice will be paid in your Razorpay account for a particular product, automatically an email should be sent to the customer who have made the payment along with the same details of that invoice. So how we are going to automate this entire process? For this, we will have to integrate both these applications, and that we are going to do with the help of an amazing automation and integration software Pabbly Connect. So here we have Razorpay in our trigger and Gmail in our action. So we will be connecting both of them by using Pabbly Connect in order to automate this entire process. And to learn this entire automation step by step, let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we are going to learn that how can we automatically send emails to our customers along with all the details of the invoice whenever the invoice will be paid in Razorpay. Okay, so let's start learning this process step by step. In order to create this automation, we will have to set up an integration between Razorpay and Gmail, and that we are going to do with the help of an amazing automation and integration software Pabbly Connect. So this is the home page of Pabbly Connect where we can reach directly by tapping pabbly.com/connect, this URL in our browser. Once we will reach on this home page, we can find two options over here: sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, you can directly click on sign in, but if you are a new user, you have to click on sign up for free button to create your free new account. And also when you will create your account, you will get 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations. As an existing user, I'm directly clicking on sign in. And this is the all app section of Pabbly where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. And it has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. So on this dashboard, we can find all of our workflows which we have created, and we can also save our workflows by creating multiple folders over here. As you can find, I have two folders here. In this test integrations folder, I have saved a lot of workflows. In the same manner, by creating multiple folders, you can save your workflows accordingly on this dashboard. Okay. Now to create a new workflow, we have to click on this create workflow option given on right corner with blue color. So let's do that. And here a dialog box will appear which is asking us to provide a name to this workflow. So first of all, let us provide a name over here. Send paid Razorpay invoice details to customers via Gmail. Okay. After giving the name, we can also select the folder in which we want to save our workflow. So from the drop down here, I'm going to select test integrations folder. Now let's click on create. As we do that, we can find that two windows are open in front of us, trigger and action. Now what are trigger and actions? Basically, the automation runs on these two concepts, trigger and action, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can have multiple actions as we want. Now, let's understand the concept of trigger and action once again with the example of this workflow. Let's say here we are going to take Razorpay in our trigger and Gmail in our action, and we want that as soon as a new invoice will be paid in our Razorpay account, automatically the response of that invoice should be captured here in Pabbly Connect, and by using that same response, automatically an email should be sent to the customer along with all the same details of that invoice through Gmail. Here we can find that our action is following what the trigger commands. So after understanding the concept of trigger and action, let's start creating the workflow step by step. First of all, we will have to select our trigger application. So here our trigger application is Razorpay. Let's select it. And now we have to select our trigger event. Now what is trigger event? Trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or start. So here our trigger event will be invoice paid, as we want that as soon as the invoice will be paid, the payment will be made in Razorpay. Automatically the response should be captured here, and with that response the workflow should get triggered. Okay, now as we have selected the trigger event, a webhook URL is provided to us along with some instructions, and we have to follow these instructions step by step in order to connect our Razorpay account with Pabbly Connect, and that we are going to do with the help of this webhook URL. So basically this webhook URL is going to act as a bridge, and it is going to send the data from Razorpay towards Pabbly Connect. Okay, so we are going to connect Razorpay with Pabbly Connect. First of all, let us copy this webhook URL, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what we are supposed to do. So I am going to take you towards my Razorpay dashboard, and here I am working in test mode. Okay, so we will move towards the left side of Razorpay dashboard, and here we can find the option of accounts and settings. So we will simply select the same, and under that we can find the option of webhooks over here. Let's select webhooks, and here are multiple webhooks already created over here. To create and add a new webhook, we have to click on this add new webhook button. Let's do that, and here we have to enter the details. First of all, in this webhook URL field, we have to paste a URL which which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Let's do that. If you want, you can also enter secret and alert email over here, but I am ignoring these two fields and directly moving towards active events. Okay, now here in the active events, what we have to select? We will go back towards Pabbly Connect, and here it is given that you have to select invoice paid as your active event. So let's do the same over here. So I will search for invoice paid and I will simply select it. Okay, now we will simply click on create webhook. In the same manner, you have to create your webhook. Our webhook is saved successfully. So let's go back towards Pabbly Connect, and here it is showing waiting for webhook response. Now, what does this mean? This means that now we have to do a test submission in Razorpay by creating the invoice and making the payment. Okay, so I'm going to again take you towards my Razorpay account, and this time we are going to go towards our invoice section. So we will click on this show all button, and here we can find the option of invoices. Let's select it, and here first of all, now I'm going to create a new invoice. So we'll click on this plus create invoice button, and because I'm working in a test mode, therefore this is the test invoice. Okay, so we are going to enter the details in this invoice to create it. First of all, let us enter the invoice number. Let's say the invoice number is 201. Okay, I'm going to enter a brief summary over here. So let's say it is for invoice for ebook. Okay, just a random summary. And now here we have to enter the customer details. So first of all, let us select the customer. Here I'm going to create a new customer over here. Let's click on this create new customer button, and we will enter the details of a test customer in this. Okay, so let's say here I'm going to enter the name as demo customer, a random email, demo8000@pabblytudes.com, and a random phone number. Okay, I'm ignoring this field of GSTIN, and now we will click on create customer. Okay, so the customer is saved successfully, and now we are going to give the description of the item. Here, let's say I'm going to create a new item as ebook on social media marketing with the price as 500. Okay, I'm not going to provide the description. We will simply click on add item over here, and with this our item is saved. So this is my new item, ebook on social media marketing. The rate of the item is 500. The quantity is 1. Okay, after adding the item, we can also provide the customer notes over here and the terms and condition if you want. I do not want to provide both these details, so I'm ignoring them, and we will directly click on finalize and issue the invoice. We will click on issue invoice, and here our test invoice is created successfully. So this is my invoice which is recently created. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this payment link of the invoice, and I'm going to open it in a new tab. And now we will make the payment. Okay, so we will click on proceed to pay. Here we can find multiple options of making the payment. From these options, I'm going to select card, and because I'm doing a test submission over here and I'm working in a test mode, therefore I'm going to enter dummy card details. Okay, so let me enter dummy card details over here. This is a dummy card number, a dummy expiry date, card holder's name, demo customer, a random CVV, and we will simply click on pay now. And here our payment is successful. So as we have made the payment for this ebook, the invoice has become paid. Okay, so we will go back towards Pabbly Connect, and here we have already received the response along with all the details of the invoice. Okay, the customer details, the product details, and the invoice details. Okay, so because here we have received this response, this means we have successfully integrated Razorpay with Pabbly Connect. And now by using this response, we are going to send an email to our customer who have made the payment just now along with all the invoice details. Okay, but first of all, if you have remember that I have kept the amount of my ebook as 500, but here in our Razorpay response we have received the amount as 50,000. Now before proceeding, we will first have to change this amount into 500, and that we are going to do by adding one more action step here, and that is number formatter. So we will simply select the action application as number formatter. So number formatter is the feature by Pabbly which allows us to format the numbers according to the choice of our workflow. In our action event, we will simply select perform math operation, as we want to divide this amount with 100 so that it could change into 500. Okay, so here let's click on connect, and our number formatter is directly connected with Pabbly Connect. So first of all, we have to enter the number here which we want to change, and then we have to provide the operation which we want to use. So here we want to change the amount which we have received from our earlier response, that is from our Razorpay response. So we will simply map that number over here. Now what is mapping? Mapping is inserting the data from our previous step. So here we can find our previous step is given. Let's select it, and here are all the details. So we want to change the amount amount is given over here. When we will select that, it will be mapped automatically. Now, because we have mapped this data, it is going to be replaced with each and every response. That is, whenever a payment will be captured in Pabbly Connect, that is, whenever a new invoice will be paid in Razorpay and the response of that invoice will be captured here in Pabbly Connect, automatically this amount is going to be replaced with the new amount of that new payment. But in case if we will enter it manually, then it will become static and it is not going to change with each and every response. Therefore, in order to automate the entire process, we use mapping. Okay. Now here, after mapping the number, we have to follow the instructions given over here. It is given that whatever operation you want to perform, you have to enter the details in this format. So because I want to divide this number with 100, what we are supposed to do, we have to use a comma after entering the number, and then we have to provide the number through which we want to perform the operation. I want to divide this number with 100. So after the comma, I am going to enter 100 over here. Let me remove this space. As we have entered this, the next thing which we have to enter is the operation. What we want to divide the number. So I have entered divide over here. So I want to divide this 50,000 with 100 to change it into 500. Okay. Let's click on save and send test request. And with this, we have received the response and we have received the correct result, that is 500. Okay. So every time a new payment will be made and the amount will change, automatically the same amount will be divided with 100 to change it into the exact amount. Okay. So let's move towards our next action step. And now we are going to send email to our customer along with the invoice details through Gmail. Okay. So we will click on this add action step button. And here I'm going to select in my action application, Gmail. After selecting the action application, the next thing which we have to select is the action event. And this is our final action step, that is send email. Okay, let's click on connect. And now I'm going to select add new connection to build a new connection with my Gmail account. If you want, you can also go with your existing connection. We will simply click on connect with Gmail and we will select our account. Now Pabbly Connect is asking us for the permission to access our Google account. It is 100% safe, so let's click on allow. And with this, very easily our authorization has become successful. So now we are going to move further and we will enter the details in these fields in order to send the email. Okay. First of all, it is asking us for the recipient's email address. Now here in this field, we have to enter the email address of the person to whom we want to send the email. Okay. So I want to send the email to my customer here who have made the payment in Razorpay. So we have received the details of that same customer from our earlier response, that is from our Razorpay response. So we will simply map the data from Razorpay, and here I am going to search for email and it has redirected me towards the email of the customer. So I am going to simply map the email. Done. And because we have mapped this email, it is going to be replaced with each and every response. Okay, so we will move further. The next, it is asking us for the sender name. In this field, we have to enter the name through which we want to send the email. Okay, so here in this field, if you will map the data, it is going to be replaced. But here, because I do not want to change the name every time, I am going to type it manually. So this is my sender's name. Okay. Pabbly. I want to send the email through this name, Pabbly. Okay. And because I have entered it manually, it has become static now. And now it is not going to change with each and every response. We will move further, and the next thing it is asking us is the email subject. The same I will follow here. I do not want to change the subject every time. So I'm simply going to enter it manually. That is invoice paid. Okay, so this is my email subject, and the next thing is email content type. It is going to be plain, and now we have to enter the content of our email. So here I'm going to enter the content as hello. In the place of name, I'm simply going to map the name of the customer. Let's search for the name. This is the name, demo customer. We have mapped it. And now here I'm going to enter the content. So this is my content. Hello demo customer. Thank you for making the payment. Your payment is successful. And here are the details of your invoice. Invoice number, customer ID, product, amount. Thank you, regards. Okay. So in the front of these details, we are going to simply map the data one by one. First of all, let us map the invoice number. And here we have received the invoice number from Razorpay. Let's search for it. Invoice number 201. Okay. The customer ID. Let's search for it also. This is the customer ID. Here is the product name. Let's search if we have received the product name or not. No, we have not received the product name from our Razorpay response. In order to get the product name, we will have to add one more action step in between, and that is going to be getting the invoice with the help of invoice ID. So what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to add one more action step in between. We'll click on this plus sign, and here we will select the action application as Razorpay once again. And we will select the action event as get invoice by ID. Let's click on connect and we will go with the existing connection only. And now here I'm going to map the invoice ID which we have received from our earlier response so that we could get the invoice details over here, the full invoice details. So I'm going to map the invoice ID and now we will click on save and send test request. And with this, we have received the response. And in response, we have received all the details of the invoice over here along with the customer details and the product also. So this is the item name. Now we are going to use this response in order to map the details further. So we will again go towards our Gmail and we will refresh the connection once again, because we have added one more action step in between. Let's go with the existing connection only. And now we are going to simply map the product name from our earlier response. So here we have received the item name, that is ebook on social media marketing. Okay. And now at last the amount. So we have already formatted the amount. This is the amount 500. So we have mapped it. Okay. In the same manner, you can map the details over here so that you can customize your content according to your choice. So in order to show you, I have used a basic message over here. You can even customize this message in more creative format according to your choice for sending the email to your customers. So this is done. Now, if you want, you can also attach any particular file here along with this email. You can add the file name in this field and then you can attach the URL of that same file here in this field. Okay. I am ignoring these two fields for now. Let's click on save and send test request. And we have received the response, and in response we have received the status as sent. So because the status is sent, let's go and check towards the email which we have mapped over here whether the response is received there or not. And here we can find that yes, we have received the response. Hello demo customer, thank you for making the payment. Your payment is successful and here are the details of your invoice. Invoice number 201, customer ID, product ebook on social media marketing, amount 500. Thank you and regards. And here along with the message we have also received the invoice number 201 over here on the same email. Okay. So this means that our workflow is perfectly successful. So we are going to test this workflow once again with a live example. Let's go towards Razorpay and here I'm going to create a new invoice and I'm going to enter dummy details over here. Let's say the invoice number is 89, a description, invoice for t-shirt, billing customer. I'm going to create a new customer over here, a random contact number, and we'll create this customer. Okay, I'm going to create a new item. Let's say t-shirt, the amount will be 100 and I'm going to create the item. Okay, so the item is created. Now I'm going to finalize and issue the invoice and our invoice is created successfully. So I'm going to copy the payment link, open it in a new tab and make a payment. Okay, we will click on proceed to pay. Here I'm going to select the card. I will enter card details and we will make the payment. So the payment is successful and as soon as we have made the payment over here, the invoice is paid. And now as soon as we have made the payment over here, we will go towards Gmail and we will check that on the email ID which we have entered over here, the email is received or not. And here we can find that yes, we have received the email over here on the same email ID which we have entered while making the payment. Hello smart customer, the name of the customer is changed automatically as smart customer. Thank you for making the payment. Your payment is successful and here are the details. Invoice number, customer ID, product that is t-shirt and the amount that is ₹100. Thanks, regards. So this means that our workflow is running perfectly fine. Let's go back towards Pabbly Connect and we will summarize what we have done here in this workflow. So we have taken 4 simple steps over here, trigger and 3 actions. In trigger, we have taken Razorpay and in actions, we have taken number formatter by Pabbly, Razorpay and Gmail. And we have connected all of them by using Pabbly Connect in such a way that now whenever a new invoice will be paid in our Razorpay account for a particular product, automatically the response of that invoice will be captured here in Pabbly Connect. And by using that same response, automatically an email will be sent to our customer who have made the payment along with all the invoice details. In between, we have also applied number formatter by Pabbly in order to perform the math operation for changing the amount which we have received into a correct amount. Okay, and we have also used one more action step as Razorpay to get the invoice detail by invoice ID so that we can use the same details in order to map the data for sending the email. So this was the full workflow and these are the steps which we have to follow in order to create this automation. You can very easily create this automation by following the same steps and integrating all these applications, and this is going to help you to automatically send email to your customers with the invoice details whenever the invoice will be paid in your Razorpay account. So this was it in this video. I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate many other applications by using Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can directly reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you want to ask any pricing related issue, then you can directly reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful in any way, do not forget to share it with your friends. And also, please like our videos and subscribe our channel to learn more such automations.